Well, good morning, Naledi. As you know, we've been tracking the story. Sound is a little bit bad here. I think there's a network problem, but I hope you can hear me. The case has been postponed to the 16th of January. It was a quick appearance. It was really just for formalities to formally introduce him to the courts. You would understand that the, of course, 48-hour rule comes into play. So it was a very quick proceeding that took place. But to take us through the conclusion of today's court sitting, I'm joined by the attorney of the accused, Mr. Calvin Maile here. He is here to, of course, tell us what's the way forward. Your client appeared in court. It was a short appearance. Just take us through.
Well, it was postponed. The matter was postponed until next week, the 16th, as you know, at the instance of the state. It appears the state does not have clear instructions at this point. The Criminal Procedure Act entitles them at least to that 7-day postponement upon the first appearance of the accused in court. So for the purpose for that postponement was specifically for them to obtain instructions from the DPP to clear the way, or at least give them direction in terms of where to go with this matter.
Now, the extradition is actually the main issue right now. You've already stated that you are going to oppose that. Just take us through the reasons why you, as his attorney, feel that there's no merit in this.
Oh, well, at this point, clearly, look, given the fact that the matter has not really appeared in court, I cannot divulge much. I cannot go into the merits of the matter until at least then it's been heard in open court. Surely I believe you guys will be there next week on the 16th. You will get those reasons when they are then fully ventilated before the court.
He's labeled as a kingpin. He's facing serious charges, kidnapping, conspiracy-related charges. What do you make of this? What has he told you?
Well, labeling somebody as a kingpin, I do not know whether it comes from the side of the authorities or whether it's just a term that was coined by the media. But my client is an outstanding businessman, very well-respected businessman who conducts businesses here, both here in South Africa as well as in Mozambique. So he has the instructions he has given me is that he has never been involved in any or committed any offense.
So he's a first-time offender, you say?
He is. He's a first-time offender, correct. Yes.
So does he have any political connections? We've asked you this question earlier. Does he have any ties with perhaps powerful people, known people in South Africa, in Mozambique?
Not that I know of. Not that I know of. I don't want to comment on things I don't know.
How long has he been in South Africa?
Well, he's been in South Africa for many, many years. And in fact, he is a property owner in South Africa. And he's also a resident. He's legal here as a resident in South Africa.
When you speak to him, how is he feeling? What does he make of the arrest? We saw his family. How are they feeling?
He's obviously shocked, just like everybody else would be when you are being arrested for an offense you have no knowledge of, that you have never committed. He's obviously shocked, but you know it's my job to make him calm and make him understand that ultimately the facts of the matter, ultimately the truth will come out.
You also in court said that you want this matter to be dealt with speedily. You've asked that the extradition process be started, and also you want bail to already be started with when we return to court.
Yes, correct. My view was the state submitted before the court that this warrant of arrest was issued back in July 2022. So my view was, and besides, it's only Monday the 9th, and the state wanted a postponement until next week Monday to only get instructions from the DPP. And my take is they've had an opportunity to do so. They still have an opportunity to do so. We may just postpone this matter for bail application, but obviously the presiding officer felt otherwise, given the time of the year. She felt that perhaps they're still in recess, the DPP is still in recess. They'll only be up and running next week.
You've already indicated that your client is innocent. Do you feel that there's foul play? Is the state clutching at straws here?
Well, I cannot say there's foul play. I do not know if there's foul play. I only know what my client instructed me in terms of his knowledge of this offense. That's all I can comment on.
What's the priority for you as his attorney moving forward?
Well, he's a businessman, and his businesses will suffer if he remains in custody. And he's got children that are schooling here in South Africa. You know, his continued arrest and incarceration has has got irreversible repercussions on his businesses and on his life in general.
Thank you so much. Of course, that being the legal representative, the attorney for the so-called kingpin, the man who appeared here at the Tembisa magistrate court, that is a 50-year-old Ishmael Ramos Nangi. It was a short appearance, as we did state. Not a lot of finer details were ventilated, but he did appear. He remains in custody. He was given no bail. Of course, you've heard his lawyer here, Calvin Maile, saying that it remains a priority to make sure that he does get bail, already stating that his client is innocent. But of course, we have to understand that he is facing serious charges. We're talking about kidnapping. Of course, the finer details in terms of who was allegedly kidnapped, that will come out throughout the course of this particular matter. But the other is the further investigations that are also continuing. We understand that, of course, the Mozambican officials, the South African authorities as well, Interpol, all of these groups working together to get to the bottom of what is happening here. And we did get a little bit of information, and it is alleged that they have actually been tracking the suspect, or rather the accused, at this juncture for a while. You heard that the warrant of arrest was already issued last year in July, but as of course the authorities had to finalize some of the details, they could not act on it, and they decided to act on it now. So it is a very intense case, in particular if you look at the fact that some of the information indicate that he's been apparently kidnapping individuals for about 20 years, and they have made millions of rands out of the alleged crime. But his attorney, very confident, saying there is no such, indicating that it is a first-time, he's a first-time offender. He has no other outstanding matters or previous convictions. His family concerned, of course, we saw his children and his wife also here. We also saw, a group of Mozambican police who came to court. They still here, and they are here to start the extradition process, as of course the Mozambican authorities want him to stand trial in the country, in Mozambique. But his lawyer saying that they're going to oppose that. They feel that he was arrested in South Africa and he must stand trial in South Africa, also indicating that there might be certain dangers that he might face if he goes back to Mozambique. So a very complex matter. But of course, next week when we come back, we expect the NPA to have the extradition documents ready if they do decide that that is the way they go. And of course, as the lawyer said, he also wants them to expedite the bail application.